Hi guys, my name is Nairi and I'm running an adoption family channel which has all things on it to do with challenges, positives around adoption, and we were foster carers to start with, so some of the things we experienced there. So if you think an adoption family life channel could be useful, then please take the time to subscribe. And today I'm going to talk to you, or chat to you really, about how we built up our experiences with my mum, who we call grandma, and it linked with that the boys' experiences of the beach. So as you probably worked out from a lot of my videos, the boys didn't have any experiences when they came to us as foster children. We gave them the first of everything, which was wonderful to be able to do, but also it presented its challenges because they were often fearful and anxious. So my mum played a big role in helping them to overcome some of those fears, particularly when we went to the beach, because she had a lovely beach hut and she lived about an hour away. So what we did is we used my mum as the additional person for them to get used to and to start attaching to, and we also used the beach as something to build the boys' confidence, and it was kind of like a prerequisite to going on holiday, because we never attempted a holiday in the early days with them because they were too fearful and anxious about everything really, especially outside. They were always fearful and anxious. So I'm keeping the video positive, okay? It's all about positivity. And the thing is about my mum is that she's really good for her age and she loves the beach. She was always on the beach and she really wanted to be part of the boys' lives as well. So what we would do at the weekend is we would take them an hour away to my mum on the beach hut, and then we just start to introduce them to some new things all the time. I just remember their eyes when we first went to the beach were as wide as saucers, and the boys have huge eyes anyway. They're much better looking than I am. They've got beautiful little faces, and their faces when they saw the sand and the sea, it was a look of wonder and awe and slight confusion, as obviously things you don't think about as adults, isn't the way that the sea moves towards you and then goes back out again. So to start with, they wouldn't go anywhere near the sea. I think we probably took them down onto the sand, and that was a bit like a weird sensation for them with their feet on the sand. And you know, it is heartbreaking and wonderful all at the same time to think that children of 2 and 3 had never seen the sand or experienced that sort of sensation. So we went cautiously with it, and I seem to remember that my husband, who goes into sort of boy mode when we're on the beach and starts digging, I think he's probably digging to get to France, I don't know. He used to dig lots of tunnels and make sand castles and gradually build up their confidence to be on the sand and for them to realise that the sand was mobile and quite sensory. So they started to get used to the feeling of the sand and the digging, etc. My mum was always there in the background. They didn't really see her as a key figure back then, I don't think. They obviously didn't understand what a grandma was, and when we were fostering, we still had contact to go to. It did tail off, but in the beginning, the contact was with grandparents as well. So we couldn't introduce my mum at that point because it would have been too confusing. So anyway, my mum would be there in her beach hut, doing what she does best, getting a tan, but also she'd be there with the, cups of tea and snacks and things like that. The boys never wanted to be far away from food. Even though they didn't really eat a lot, they needed little and often. So the fact that my mum would be there with cakes in the beach hut and fruit and things like that they never needed to be far away from food, was also great. And that's how we kind of built up that special bond that I'd say she now has with them, because now the boys are older. My mum actually lives nearer to us. They sometimes pop back and see her in the house, and you would never know that she wasn't their true flesh and blood and their true grandma, because that is how they see her, and they get away with much more with them. So we're really strict on screen time. They're 10 and 11-year-old boys, and we just don't want them to get into the gaming scene just yet. We're trying to hold it back. But when they go up to my mum's, they can do whatever they want, and I let them do whatever they want. And it's fantastic to know that it's not just about us as their network. And that's the thing I think about our boys, which has been wonderful for us, is that our adult, sorry, I'm getting emotional now, our adult children treat them as if they are their flesh and blood and their brothers, and my mum does the same. And you know, our friends now that we've got established friend network, and some have gone by the way, you know, but our friend network treat them the same way. And although I call them my adopted boys for the sake of these videos, that they're not, they're just my boys. So I hope this video helps you, inspires you, encourages you, and if it does, then please subscribe to my channel and take a look on my other videos. I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.